Hey friends, I'm Rachel. I'm a library associate in Teen Services, and I'm excited to be cooking with you today. You ready to do some cooking? Yeah, you gonna get some carrots? You gonna get some carrots? Oh yeah. He loves carrots. Indian cuisine has tons of delicious vegetarian options. We're gonna try my take on just one, Chana Dal. We're gonna use 1 whole pound of beautiful yellow split peas. I'm just rinsing to make sure I get rid of any dirt or particles, anything that might hurt your teeth. We're gonna need a beautiful onion, 2 or 3 medium-sized carrots, 1 regular old potato, a couple of cloves of garlic, some olive oil. We're gonna need a little bit of salt, some kind of curry powder, some bay leaves, yum yum. I will probably add in for spice some red pepper flakes. I can hear you asking, Rachel, are those left over from when you ordered pizza several years back? Yes, they are. They still taste fine. So to chop an onion, you want to get rid of the ends first and make it flat so that you can set it down and have some stability. You're going to get off all the skin. Now you're going to set it on one end so that you can chop it in half. And then you use that flatness to get stability to cut the rest. And notice how I'm keeping my fingers kind of pinched in away from the knife. If your hand's on top of the knife, it's not going to get chopped. Clean as you go. All my onion mess going in the trash. You'll see I'm just scraping off the very outside layer of skin. You don't want to take off too much because that's the nutritious part. Now you can line your carrots up and chop away. Watch your thumb. Remy, sit. Good boy. You ready for a carrot? Yeah, good boy. That's a good boy. If your potato has eyes, places that look damaged, you can cut those out. But again, don't overdo it. The skin is the nutritious part, and none of this has to be perfect. Don't overstress it. Now we're going to get a couple of garlic cloves, and I'm going to show you how I like to open them up. I usually kind of crush them with the bottom of a bowl, and then it just breaks them open enough so that it's easy to peel off that hard outer layer. You're going to chop off the very ends, and then just finely chop. I like to rest the tip of my knife on the cutting board and then kind of mash it down with my hand, which keeps your fingers safe. All right, now we're ready to add a couple of tablespoons of olive oil to the pot. You can use any vegetable oil that you like, and you can always add more later if you need it to help avoid sticking. I'm just tilting the pot to get the oil nicely spread around. And then I'm adding my onions. That's going to be the first part that I actually cook. You're going to saute the onions for about 3 to 4 minutes, and you're just letting them get a little translucent. Sometimes they'll turn a bit golden in color. And while they're sauteing, you're going to start adding your spices. So I'm putting in a full 2 tablespoons of curry powder. My favorite is the hot Madras curry powder. Curry is a blend of spices, so you can also make your own. The individual spices can get expensive, so sometimes when you're just starting out, a curry powder is the way to go. Here I'm adding some mustard seeds, my crushed red pepper. Cayenne is also great. A typical curry will have some coriander, some cumin, some ginger, lots of turmeric. So those are all things you can add as you start to build up your spice collection. Honestly, the spices that I add to this dish change every single time. So don't be scared to try something out. If it smells good, it's probably going to taste good. When you have about a minute left with your onions, that's when you want to add your garlic. And if things start to stick to the bottom, you can always add a little oil. Now you're going to add the potatoes and carrots and let them get some oil and spices, stir them around a little bit. Give them just a couple minutes. Now it's time for the split peas. I like to add these before water, but you don't want to leave them in the pot for too long before you add the water in. I just mix them around, get a little oil in there, and then the water's ready to go. I'm adding 6 cups of water, And I'm gonna do a half teaspoon of salt. You can always add more, but you can't take it away. And I'm gonna do 3 bay leaves. These are for flavor. We don't eat them, but they add a really great flavor. So you can see it's just starting to bubble. Not a big rolling boil, but it's getting there. So I'm gonna let it boil for just like a minute. And then I'm gonna put a lid on it and turn the temperature way down. So I'm gonna take my lid, put it on. You can like leave it cracked a little bit if you like. I'm gonna cover it for now and I'll check on it, see how we do. And I'm just gonna turn my temp down to low. I'm gonna let it simmer. Set a timer for 30, see how it does. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Oh, see, nice low boil. Just make sure nothing's sticking. So my timer went off, so I'm just gonna check and see how we're doing. Oh yeah. I'm actually gonna leave this open because I want more of the water to evaporate, and I think it's cooked with the lid on long enough. Because it's open, I gotta turn it up just a little bit. All right, I'm just gonna keep checking on it every once in a while, keep stirring it every once in a while. You start to get a little bit of film on the top, but that's just from the legumes doing their thing, so don't worry about it. And when I check in on it, I'm like basically making sure it's not sticking to the bottom, right? You can even kind of check for tenderness to see they're plumping up because they've got more water in them now. Not too hot. Yeah, they're getting tender, but not quite where we want them to be. I'm gonna add a little more salt because I think I'm gonna want it eventually anyway, and might as well do it now. Very scientific measurement. All right, I think it might be time to make the rice. After it's been going for a while, the split peas will start to break down and it'll start to look a little soupy. It is totally up to you how far you want to let that go. You can stop when they're just tender and edible, but you can also let it keep going and get super soft, and then it'll turn almost into like a paste. So, whoa, my goodness. You can do whatever kind of rice suits you, but I like the long grain jasmine rice. So I'm just following the directions on the label. I'm doing a cup and a half of water, got it boiling, and then I'm gonna add a cup of rice. I'm gonna let it simmer for exactly how long it tells me, and we'll see how it does. In full transparency, I just added a little ground red pepper because I like it spicy, but up to you. It's looking really good. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble. We've got about 10 minutes left on the rice. This is simmering nicely, and it feels like the timing's gonna work out perfectly. So this is the dance that I do in my kitchen. I just tasted it. It's good, but the split peas are a little firm for my taste. So I'm gonna put the lid back on for just a little bit. Basically, lid on means more of that moisture staying in the pot, and it's gonna help the split peas absorb the water and plump up a little bit more. So you can kind of just play it by ear, change as you go. It cooks for a long time, so you have the ability to make adjustments along the way. The timer's going off. Moment of truth. Fluffed up my rice, got in there, fluffed it, letting it sit a little bit. Perfect. That is just how I like it. Give you a little warning, those bay leaves, you don't want to eat that part. So pick out the bay leaf. All right, this is for the diehards. So I love, as an accompaniment to this, some hot lime pickle. I used to find this at the grocery store, not so much lately. If you have like a local store that has Indian seasonings and Indian food, you might be able to find it in a store or like a smaller market. I ordered this online because I love it that much. Hot lime pickle. Just a nice little accompaniment. Kind of dip in there and spread it around when you eat. So good. All right, thanks for trying out my slapdash recipe. I hope you enjoy it, and please check back often to see what new videos we have from Cooking with a Teen Librarian.